Hello students, welcome to this video tutorial on how to draw a monster truck. Let's begin by using the rectangle tool. Make sure you click on the rectangle tool. Alright, let's begin our rectangle along the red line, but a little bit away from the girl. So remember, whenever we draw an object, we have to click the mouse button once, but do not hold the mouse button down. So click once and then start pulling your mouse away. Remember, your finger is not on the mouse button. All right, do not click the mouse button. Now I would like you to type in 2m, comma, space, 1.2m. I'll repeat again, 2m, comma, space, 1.2m. Now remember, your hand is not on the mouse. Your finger is not on the mouse button. Hit enter on your keyboard. So that is the size of our monster truck. Now again, just like the mini car, this is a mini monster truck. All right, let's save this project right away. So let's go to File, Save As. Click on Save As. In the Save In window, I want you to click the down arrow. And I want you to look for your student number, but then I want you to look for the next student number. Remember, we always save it in the second student number. All right, I would like you to save it as Monster Truck. Monster Truck. And then hit Save. Okay, let's continue. Now let's use the push-pull tool. Click on the push-pull tool. Now again, when we use any of the tools, we do not hold the mouse button down. We click once on our rectangle, but we do not hold the mouse button. Click once, and then I want you to start pulling upwards. Do not hold the mouse button. Do not click the mouse button a second time. Let go of the mouse and type in 50 cm, 50 cm, and then hit enter. Okay, that's the first level of our monster truck. Now let's use the orbit tool, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at it slightly from the top. Let's go back to the rectangle tool. This time, I want to start my rectangle in the bottom back corner here where it says endpoint. I want to click, and again, do not hold the mouse button down. Click once, and then I want to pull out to the opposite corner, and then I want to pull forward towards the front of the car or the monster truck to about there. And then click a second time to end the rectangle. Now let's use the push-pull tool. Click on the push-pull tool. I want you to click once on this new rectangle. Do not hold the mouse button down. Click once and then start pulling upwards slowly. Do not click the mouse. Now let go of the mouse. Type in 45 cm, 45 cm, and hit enter. So that is the height of our monster truck. Okay, now we're going to do something unusual. We're going to go and have a look at the bottom of our monster truck. So make sure you are looking up from the bottom. So we're looking at the bottom of the truck. Now, let's click on the rectangle tool again. This time, I want you to start at a corner, but do not click. And then I want you to move inwards from that corner a little bit. Click once, do not hold the mouse button. Go all the way across to the other side of the truck, and then move towards the front of the truck. But do not go all the way to the front. I want you to end the same distance from the front edge that you did on the back edge. Okay, so that's about There. And I'm going to click a second time to end my rectangle. Okay. Now I'm going to slightly look more towards the side, but I still want to see the bottom of my truck. All right, I'm going to click the push-pull tool. Click once on this new rectangle. Do not hold the mouse button down. Click once and start pulling downwards slowly. Do not click the mouse a second time. Take your hand off the mouse, and then I want you to type in 40 cm, 40 cm, 40 centimeters, and then hit the Enter key on your keyboard. Okay, now unlike the mini car, for the monster truck, we have to have this bottom part for the wheels. It holds the wheels. Okay, let's use the orbit tool again, and let's have a look more towards the top. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the magnifying glass or the zoom tool. I'm going to place my zoom tool right here on the corner, and then I want you to use the wheel on the mouse so that you can zoom in. Okay, don't zoom in too far though. Okay, so let's do something very similar to what we did in the mini car to create the windshield. So let's click on the pencil tool this time, not the rectangle tool, but the pencil tool. Let's start drawing from this corner where it says endpoint in green. I want you to click once, do not hold the mouse button, and I want you to draw a diagonal line up to the edge of the roof where it says on edge, and click a second time to end that line. Now, from this point, click once again, do not hold the mouse button, and draw a line across to the opposite edge where it says on edge. Make sure the line is green and click a second time to end that line. Now let's use the orbit tool. Let's orbit around to the opposite side so that we can see the side and the top of the truck together. Let's click back on the pencil tool. Let's find this point in green where it says endpoint. Click once, do not hold the mouse button down, and go to this corner here where it is again in green where it says endpoint, and click a second time to end the line. Okay. Now, let's orbit around to the side again. Let's look at our truck directly from the side. All right, let's click on the pencil tool again. And I'm going to go back to this corner. In green, it says endpoint. I want to click once, do not hold the mouse button, and I want to draw a line all the way to the back of my truck till again I find where it says on edge, and make sure the line is red, and click a second time to end that line. Now I'm going to use the orbit tool, and I'm going to go to the opposite side of the truck, and I'm going to do the same thing with the pencil tool. I'm going to click on the pencil tool. I'm going to start at this corner here where it says endpoint in green, and I'm going to click once to start my line. Do not hold the mouse button down. Go to the back of the truck where it says on edge. Make sure the line is red and click a second time. Now let's go to the back of the truck. So what I want to do now is I want to click on the pencil tool again and follow this line around the back of the truck. So I'm going to click here where it says green endpoint. It's in green endpoint. I'm going to click once. Do not hold the mouse button down. And I'm going to draw a line across the back of my truck. It should be in green. And then I'm going to go to the opposite endpoint and click a second time to finish that line. Now if I've done it right, and if I orbit around to the front, these two lines here should meet at this corner. That's how you know you've done it right. Okay, So let's create kind of the angle for the back windshield. Now the back windshield is going to be it's going to look more like a station wagon or a truck. So what I want to do is I want to click on the pencil tool. I want to start in this corner where it says endpoint in green. And I want to create a diagonal line up to the roof. But I don't want to go too far towards the middle of the truck. I actually want to be as close to the back edge as possible. So how about there? And then when it says on edge, click a second time to end your line. Now I'm going to orbit so I can see the top. And this is going to be very similar to what we did at the front of the truck. I'm going to click the pencil tool again. I'm going to start here on the green endpoint. I'm going to click once. Do not hold the mouse button down. I'm going to move my mouse so that it's going to the opposite edge where it says on edge. The line should be in green. And I'm going to click a second time to end my line. Now let's orbit around to the other side. Let's click the pencil tool. And let's start from this point on the roof where it says endpoint in green. Click once. Do not hold the mouse button. And draw down to this corner here in green endpoint. Click a second time to end your line. Okay. So at this point, maybe we should save. So let's go to File and Save. Remember, we already saved it once. Save as Monster Truck. Once you save it once, all you have to do now is just go to Save. Okay, so now's the fun part. Let's click on the Eraser tool. I'm going to zoom in. First, I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to click on the Zoom tool. I'm going to place my magnifying glass here on the corner, and using the mouse wheel, I want to zoom in. Not too far, though. Okay, let's click on the Eraser tool. Now, we want to erase this back edge here. So let's carefully click on that line. And if you've done it right, now you should have these little wings sticking out. So let's click on this line and then this line. And then let's go to this side. Click on this line to erase it. Be very precise with your eraser tool. And then click on this little line here. Okay, so now if I orbit around, you can see that I have a slight angle to the back windshield or the back window. All right, so let's orbit around to the front and do the same for the front windshield. Let's click on the eraser tool. Let's click on this line up here. Well, let's click on this line here, the front corner. Okay, then we click on this line at the top. Click on this line. Now remember, if something wrong happens, you have to go to Edit, Undo right away. The first step is Edit, Undo. Okay? All right, I'm going to continue erasing this line, and then this line. Oops, sorry, this line, and then this line. Okay. So let's orbit around to the front, and there is the overall shape for my monster truck. Okay, so we're going to use the eraser tool 2 more times here. We're going to click on the eraser tool, and I want to erase this line right here. Okay, so let's click on this line to erase. Now, the side of your monster truck should not disappear. And let's orbit around to the other side. And I'm going to use the eraser tool. And I'm going to click on this line to erase that line. Again, the side of your truck should not disappear. We're going to leave this line in for now. Okay? All right, so I'm going to orbit around to the front. And I'm going to use the zoom tool, the magnifying glass. I'm going to place my magnifying glass in the middle of my truck. And this time I want to zoom outwards. Okay, so let's go to File, Save, and this concludes the first video of Monster Truck. Thanks for watching. Make sure you go on to the next video. Bye.